When I was a younger man, I actually worked in a retail warehouse-based setting for a certain amount of time. Little did I know that the periods of time there would have been some of the best in my life due to the people that I had met and circumstances that I later found myself in as a result of the time there. These stories are some of the memories of mine that I recollected from then, in no particular order from when they had occurred. So it was an afternoon shift at the job on this particular day. As I arrived for work and clocked in, later heading for my department. I knew that it wasn't exactly busy at this time of the week, and laborers such as ourselves were sometimes switched to different departments when management didn't think that we were necessarily needed in our own. As I was casually walking past different departments, I saw Andrew in the particular department that specialized in crafting. By that time, he had spent about 2 weeks in the department, as me and Daryl were actually wondering if he would have been permanently transferred to the crafting areas because he had previous experience. That particular afternoon he seemed pretty busy and didn't notice me at all. Plenty of people were buying crafting materials and he was naturally dealing with a lot. There had been times where we were all busy in our workplace and I imagined that it would have been the sort of afternoon for him. I knew that he'd be alright and I continued on to my department. As the day was relatively quiet in my own department as he came by a short time later as me and Daryl were handling things in our landscaping area. Apparently he had just spoken with management and was heading back to the crafting. As he was going to soon clock out, he was actually being sent home for the day as he showed me and Daryl his hand. It was bandaged with his little finger wrapped up with a splint to hold it in place. He was using a crafting machine for a customer, and with the chaoticness of the department at the time, he had somehow injured his finger accidentally in the machine. Andrew actually didn't even realize it for a few moments because of how busy it was at the time, and he continued to work as usual. To try and make light of the situation, Daryl was asking how he couldn't have known one of his fingers was broken. The three of us naturally had a chuckle as a result, and Andrew just seemed to laugh it off as well, which was something that he needed, as the sight of such would have been shocking for anyone to have actually seen. But he later had to go to the Human Resources Department to file a report on the incident, and he wasn't exactly excited about that. We talked for a few more moments and then he left, as me and Daryl were speaking about the whole situation a bit longer. With all of Daryl's old wisdom, he mentioned to me that even the best worker can sometimes or even occasionally have a mistake, as there's nothing wrong with it and you learn from it. You move on and do something else with your experience on your time at your job. When I think back on it, that was one of the ways I prefer to recollect the memory.